Okay. Hello, colleagues. I am Damián Quijano. I will present an investigation carried out with my colleague Richard Hill about methodological proposal for opinion studies of national users by collecting a corpus of messages from the social network Twitter, case of Panama. Okay, let us begin. Political opinion studies are interested in collecting messages from the national, from national public from the social network Twitter. They require a sample of users born in the country, since Twitter does not show the national identification of user, and only a very small fraction of tweets on Twitter are geotagged. It is a challenging problem when searching and downloading messages from national user. Okay. Here. Below, I want to highlight some concepts that arise from studies in my line of research, all cited in my article, approximately. Look at terms lines here, geoparsing, geographic coordinates, physical location, location, geolocation problems, okay? The following concepts are repeat: location, geolocation, coordinates. Location and nationality do not always coincide. For the purpose of a political opinion research, who wants to predict outcomes? They are interested in national rather than location. Okay, method. It starts from the hypothesis next. The user who mentioned very popular Panamanian, remember case Panama, also Panamanian, suppose. This statement is based on the concept homophily, which refers to the inclination that individuals with similar characteristics possess to relate to each other more often than to other individuals. Okay, here is a network of mention based on the homophily concept. Main goal of research propose a method that produces a sample of national messages automatically. Okay, first, we must achieve a small initial sample of very popular Panamanian account from which we can expand the initial sample through its network of mention. We are using the Twitter Academic Research AP was used to download the message. This option returns the full historic of public data tweets which correspond to a search query. Okay, here is the query search used in the Twitter API. The place country parameter was used to filter the location. Okay, physical location of message, okay, no nationality. Most of the messages were posted from a mobile device, no desktop. Almost 1 million tweets were downloaded and saved as a flat file. Later, the data was imported into a SQL Server database. Okay, here shows a scheme of the table containing all the tweets. Okay, Here it displays figures 3 and 4 show the table containing all the download message. Don't see well, but this is mentioned, hashtags, reference, reply, author ID, text, tweet, create, etc. Okay, from message table, we are extract user into table user. In users table, the 400 user with the greatest number of followers were selected. It was able to manually verify that 280 accounts are Panamanians and 120 accounts are not. The 218 users constitute the initial sample. Okay, the next is to expand the initial sample through the network of mention. Okay, about 200,000 tweets mentioning each user in the initial sample were downloaded and stored in database table. The author of the post were extracted from the table. Those users were registered in the table mentioned. Okay. A random sample of the user in the measures table of the size of 385 user was analyzed. Okay, the nationality of the user was checked with the following result. 301 accounts were verified as Panamanian. 184 accounts, no, do not. Okay. In the next step, we did an interval analysis of a scatter plot curve of the data in the measures table. The measures table was sorted by the followers column from lowest to highest number of followers. And this index column was at from position 1 at less position. In graph show, in graph 1 show the scatter plot that show the power fitted to the data organization. Okay. This part exploration is very interesting. The graphic is divided into 3 parts from a visual analysis. Okay. In graph 2, it can be seen that from point A, okay, to an unknown point B that we identify through a visual approximation. The curve is similar to a straight line. The growth of the number of followers along the segment 1 is practically a straight with a small incline. Okay, the segment 1. Okay, and on the other hand, from point B, we notice a rapid growth in the shape of an elbow that begins at point B and ends at point C. Okay, look here. Then from point C to point D, segment 3, is observed that the curve takes a position on a most horizontal line, vertical line, and is the one that has the large number of very popular users. Okay, segment 1, segment curve 3, segment 3. Okay, the resheet uses the simple linear regression method to establish the limits of the 3 segments. That is to find the points B and C. Okay, as an outcome of the following assumption. If segment 1 is very similar to straight line, the result of applying the linear regression with the data contained from point A, point B, segment 1, should be a coefficient of determination R squared greater mayor, greater or than or like to 0.18, 0.18. The feed to the line being very high. Okay, this is. The sum occur for segment 3. If values contained in segment 3 closely fit a line, then the result of applied linear regression must be a coefficient of determination greater than 0.80. Knowing the limiting points of segment 1 and 3, it's also possible to know the limits of segment 2. Okay. How is linear regression applied to determine the limits of segments? First, the table contains the values of followers of user of mentioned table, sorted by the lowest to the highest number of followers. Okay. Well, it is an iterative process. For example, first calculate the coefficient of determination from position 1 to position 1000, okay? Asking R squared is less than 0.18. If not, then add the next position and calculate R squared again. Calculate simple regression from position 1 to position 1001. Next steps, increment and for this iterative process. Okay. Successively until the R squared of the collection of values from position 1 to position X is less than 0.80. The position X will be point B that we are looking for. The algorithm was implemented in Python programming.
Mr. Damián, excuse me once more.
Here we see the result of applying linear regression to segment 1 on the right. We can confirm that segment 1 is almost a horizontal straight line. Okay, the same happens for segment 3, but is almost a vertical straight line. The points B and C of segment 2 are now sunk to the calculation of segment 1 and 3. We see that when applying linear regression, it is a curve in the shape of F elbow. Okay, sorry. Okay, result very quick. Result. Now what we did with the segment data. Okay, random samples were drawn from each segment and the national of each was verified. For segment 1, 325 were confirmed Panamanian, which represent 84%. Okay, next, we carry out an experiment to analyze the number of national measures that can be extracted from hashtags. We had select 2 types of hashtag. The first is mentioned in several countries, international, and the second is national topic, very local. The tweets of each hashtags were downloaded and crossed with user of segments 1, 2, 3 separately. The best result was a very local hash crossed with user from segment 1. The sampling showed that 84% of the author of the mission are Panamanians. Okay, this is sequence of states, this method, certain state method, download, extract user, add follower, sort from highest to lowest, chose the initial sample, download mention, the user of the initial sample, extract user, add followers, interval analysis, extract user of segment 1, add user, the initial sample to final sample, download measure from very local hashtag for a study of national opinion, cross with final sample and produce national tweets corpus. And conclusion, segment 1 groups user with very few followers, but they represent the majority of the user in the sample. Segment 1 provides a larger number of accounts with an estimate of about 84% national, with estimate 12,000, about 12,000 Panamanian accounts in the final sample, which is a significant sample for national opinion studies. The 13-step method makes it possible to automate the extraction of a national sample with a high percent of national. Okay, this bibliography finished. We have received the same. Thank you for your patience and interest.